Welcome to part 3 of how science proves the Bible. So we're going to be probably still having to break this up into a third part, but we're going to be continuing where we left off. So statements consistent with biology. The book of Leviticus writes prior to 1400 BC describes the value of blood. Leviticus 17:11, and if they would have read this book, they would have accidentally killed George Washington with bloodletting. The blood carries the water nourishment to every cell, maintains the blood's temperature, and removes waste material of the blood cell. The blood also carries oxygen from the lungs throughout the body. In 1616, when William Harvey discovered blood circulation as a key factor in physical life, confirming what the Bible reveals 3,000 years later. The Bible describes biogenesis, the development of living organisms from other organisms, the stability of each kind of living organisms. It's found in Genesis 1 through 11 and 12, Genesis 1:21, Genesis 1:25. The phases according to their kinds occurs repeatedly, stressing the reproductive integrity of each kind of animal and plant. Today we know this occurs because all these reproductive systems are programmed by their genetic codes. So before they found out about the genetic codes, the Bible talked about it. Which is why evolution is impossible. It is not true. It is not science. It's actually pseudoscience. And you can actually go to Christian Ministries International or ICR. They have a whole entire thing of how evolution falls into the category of pseudoscience. The Bible describes the chemical nature of flesh. Genesis 2:7 and Genesis 3:19. It is a proven fact that a person's mental and spiritual health is strongly correlated with physical health. The Bible reveals this to us with these statements and others written by King Solomon about 950 BC, and you can read it in Proverbs 12:4, Proverbs 14:30, Proverbs 15:30, Proverbs 16:24, and Proverbs 7:22. The statement consistent with anthropology. We have cave paintings and other evidence of people inhabiting caves. The Bible also describes caveman, and it's found in Job 35 and 6. No, these were not ape men, but descendants of those who scattered from Babel. They were driven from the community by their tribes, who competed successfully for more desired regions of the earth. Then, for some reason, they deteriorated mentally, physically, and spiritually, which we can even see this in today's community. If we go to the bad part of town, you will see this concept in action today. There is just something different about the people on the bad part of town. They're deteriorated mentally. They're deteriorated a little bit physically. And it isn't talking bad about them. It's just what happens with the way that they are living in the bad part of town. that causes certain problems. Statements consistent with hydrology. The Bible includes reasonable concept descriptions of the hydraulic cycle. We see this in Psalms 135 verse 7 and Jeremiah 10:13. In these verses, you see several phases of the hydraulic cycle, the worldwide process of evaporation, translation, up a lift by atmospheric circulation, condensation with electrical discharge, and precipitation. We find this, and then we see in Job 36:27 through. Okay. Yeah, I believe that we find that one thing in Job 37:27, 29. This simple verse has remarkable scientific insight that drops of water, which eventually pour down as rain. The first becomes vapor and then condenses into tiny liquid water droplets in the cloud. The final collision into the drops large enough to overpower the updrafts that suspend them in the air. The hydrothermal vents are described in two books of the Bible written before 1400 BC, more than 3,000 years before their discovery by science. We see in Genesis 7:11 and Job 38:16. So this is the video for today. We're going to continue with statements consistent with geology next and finish how science and the Bible go hand in hand.